Good evening, everybody. My name is Alexander David. I'm really grateful to be asked to be part of this love letter to men, focusing on men's mental health. I've had quite a struggle with mental health. Even recently, I just did a big move, and they say that the biggest stresses in a marriage are a death in the family, or divorce, or moving. And I found out that that actually is totally true. It's been quite a wild ride, and a lot of triggers have come up for me, so anyways, in the light of that, I'm going to play some songs that I've been writing, focusing on my mental health. This one's called The Mist. There's a mist inside my thought that blocks a lot of what I need to feel alive. I know that what's been hidden has the power to release me and embolden me as I move to the light. But every time I open up my eyes, an ocean stands between me and my mind. It's not like I can reach into the sky for wisdom that will only leave me blind until I find a reason for this life. When the storm is pulled away, the aftermath can leave me bitter through the night. I don't know how to shake it. Can these feelings that consume me get diluted as I strive to set things right? But every time I open up my eyes, an ocean stands between me and my mind. It's not like I can reach into the sky for wisdom that will only leave me blind until I find a reason for this life. 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 Ooh. 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 And every time I open up my eyes, an ocean stands between me and my mind. It's not like I can reach into the sky for wisdom that will only leave me blind until I find a reason for this life. Oh, thank you for the virtual applause, Mike. I appreciate that. I wrote that song when I was in the discovery process of finding out I have ADHD. I always felt like there was this fog in my mind that set me apart from other people, like there's something wrong with me. Well, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm just different. And, well, that's what that song is about. This next song is called That's Me. And sometimes, I don't know if anyone listening feels this way, but when you've experienced a lot of trauma, it just comes back in waves. You know, you'll get over it and you'll be like, I'm feeling better. Something happens and it just brings you down to that dark place. And I wrote this song recently in the midst of this move. See, I moved a lot when I was a kid. I moved about 26 times before I finally found my wife and stayed in the house for 7 years, and we moved again. It just triggered all these negative memories I had from feeling like my dad just didn't care about me or love me, and I've just been struggling with that feeling. The song is called That's Me. I can taste the bitterness in me. How did all of this go wrong? I don't have a lot of hope for peace, and the war goes on and on. Defeat and grief and and deep feeling. Can't sleep, won't eat, repeat, that's me. Like the furthest light that we have seen, I will never reach a calm. There's a weight to my anxiety, and the gravity is strong. Defeat and grief and deep feeling. Can't sleep, won't eat, repeat, that's me. Oh, is this all I'll ever be? Struggling to find relief. I can see my life is blessed. It's the vessel I detest. I can try to be the one responsible for all I've done, the awful that was done to me. It's forever at my feet, and grief and deep feeling. Can't sleep, won't eat, repeat, that's me. So I'm not always sad, and hopefully when you feel those times of sadness, you aren't either. I really appreciate being a part of this and singing my songs. There's nothing that gets out that negative energy like singing or playing music. For me, when I can just sit in my room and play, it's like all of that just gets pushed out of my system. The last song I want to play is called Runnin'. This is a positive song. You know, as songwriters, we feel a lot of negative emotion, and it's like you got 9 negative songs and 1 positive song. So this is one of them, and I wrote it in a moment of hope, feeling like, you know, despite the trauma I've had, I was sexually abused when I was younger, and that went on for almost a decade, and it's had some serious effects on my life, as you can imagine. And I'm almost hitting 30, and it's like I've had all this time to process and work through stuff, and I do feel hopeful despite the stuff that's happened to me, despite feeling like I have a brain that doesn't work very well. I'm hopeful, and that's what this song's about. It's called Runnin'. I've been running, 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 look at me go. I aim for the goal. I was nothing, nothing, nothing till I found out my life was my own. I just wanna be a man who found his peace before he got too bitter. And I know how it goes when you feel all alone and no one seems to care you're dying. I've been running, 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 look at me go. I aim for the gold. I was nothing, nothing, nothing till I found out my life was my own. I've lived a life I'd rather see played out on my TV, so now I have to be the hero. And even though I don't believe I got a lot to show, I can see my future shining. 'Cause I've been running, 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 look at me go. I aim for the goal. I was nothing, nothing, nothing till I found out my life was my own. Oh, 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 oh. running, 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 look at me go. I aim for the gold. I was nothing, nothing, nothing till I found out my life was my own. Thank you very much to everybody who's listening, and I hope you have a great time with the conference this week.
Dude, have you got one more in you?
Sure, I do. I got plenty more.
We got a little bit of time. I would love to
Okay.
hear one more from you. And
Okay.
I gotta say, man, I am so grateful for the way that you show up in the world. You use your gifts, you use your talents to not just serve yourself, but to serve others. And I love that we're able to share this virtual stage. And anytime you get on a real stage, I am grateful when I get to sit in front of you. When you came out and did Festival Place, you and Jen, that was phenomenal. So
Thanks,
if you
man.
got another one in you, I see people are still kind of logging in, and I would
All
love
right.
to give more people an opportunity to hear a little bit more of you.
Okay, sure. I'll play a favorite song. It's a really hard song, so forgive the mistakes, but it just feels right. Um, the song is called Like You, and it's kind of a weird perspective. A lot of my songwriting is very therapeutic, and I've been going to therapy for a while, and well, it's just interesting how the brain works, honestly. And I wrote this song from the perspective of the father that I wish I had, or maybe from the perspective that I wish my father had. You know what I'm saying? Um, just talking about, well, I am facing my trauma head on, and I feel like many people in my family line have spent their whole lives avoiding it and using drugs and alcohol, violence. I got criminals in my family, and I don't want that to continue on. I got kids now. I just want to be a person that can be different. So here's the song. Wish I could take away the pain you feel and change the way that all those years have weighed on you. I wanna show you how relieved I am to see a man who made it past a painful youth. I know what it's like to have the world come crashing down when you don't have a clue. I'm watching you decide to put aside your ego, chase the evil out from you. We've been waiting for someone like you. There are generations hurt by lies, and no one in the family line could find the truth. So everything got funneled down. I'm sorry for the way it had to fall on you. I know what it's like to have the world come crashing down when you don't have a clue. I'm proud that you decide to put aside your ego, chase the evil out from you. We've been waiting for someone like you. Didn't have a way to deal with all the trauma that my mama passed along to me. I swept it all under the rug and thought that we could skip the hug in honest day. I know what it's like to have the world come crashing down when you don't have a clue. I'm proud that you decide to put aside your ego, chase the evil out from you. We've been waiting for someone like you. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Yep. All right. Thanks, man. So where can people find you?
Well, my wife and I perform under the name Genesia, Jenesia, and our handle is Genesia Music everywhere. And I have a solo page called Alexander David Music. All the songs I played today, they're brand new. They're not recorded. So it's kind of a special treat because there's nowhere to listen to them yet. And I do plan on recording them. It's just a crazy time when you have two kids that are under two.
Nice.
We will be releasing a bunch of these songs under Genesia as the Alexander David Project.
Nice. All right, Alexander, thank you once again for joining us tonight. I am so grateful that you are here, and I am going to kick you out of here so we can get moving on.
Thanks.
Thanks, brother.
Night, everybody.
All right, friends, it is time. Oh, I've still got you. I haven't muted you.
Oh, nice. Got to hear that cough.
There you go. Now you're muted. Now you're muted. So this is how we know it's completely unscripted. All right, my friends, my name is Mike Cameron, and I am super pumped to be your host for the next 3 days, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday night. Friday night, if you are in the Edmonton area, we will be broadcasting live from Blackjack's Roadhouse in Nisku. So we wanted to make sure that we gave everybody the opportunity not only to participate virtually this year like we did last year, but also to gather face to face and really create some real connection. We understand that COVID has been a challenge for all of us. So we know there are a number of different watch parties going on tonight. So I am super, super stoked that we have folks that are gathering in person. And Brooklyn, are you around? I see you there. I am going to promote you to panelist, and we are going to see if we can do a quick little screenshot in Stony Plain. And hopefully I got the right, oh, you know what? I did not. There we go. I think that's the right one. Anyways, we'll see if we can get Brooklyn on here. Welcome to Love Letter to Men, our second annual event brought to you. It is an initiative of the Alberta Men's Collaborative. The Alberta Men's Collaborative is a group of individuals and organizations that got together and said, you know what? There's a lot of good people doing a lot of good work in the men's mental health space. And we want to make sure that we all know what is going on with each other so that we're not working in silos anymore. So this initiative came out of that collaboration, and you're going to hear from a number of different individuals and organizations out of there. Brooklyn, it looks like you are here. So let's see. Are you able to start your video? We're going to see if we can do this. I'm going to ask you to unmute. And we'll see if we can get some live action. My vision is this is like New Year's countdown, and we stream from New York, LA, Las Vegas, Edmonton, all of those places. But we're not sure we're quite so tech savvy to get there. While I see if Brooklyn can figure out how to do this, I want to quickly acknowledge that I am broadcasting from Edmonton, which is traditional lands in Treaty 6. And I want to thank the diverse Indigenous people whose ancestors' footsteps have marked this land for centuries before us. I think it's really important to just take that pause and make that acknowledgement. Friends, we are here to share stories, to talk about some of the effects that men's mental health has on our society. And the challenge with having these conversations, I think we all know it. The first rule of Mental Health Club is we don't talk about Mental Health Club, right? Especially when it comes to us guys. And my buddy Al Kaler, who spoke last year, he always talks about this. He says, if you ask most men, would you rather talk about your feelings or take a punch to the face? Oh, Brooklyn says she can't get on. All right, that's all good. That is all good. If you ask most men if they'd rather talk about their feelings or take a punch to the face, I think we know what the answer is. Most would take that punch to the face. And, it's one of the reasons that for a very long time, I resisted talking about mental health, because I think when it comes to mental health in men, our vocabulary consists of about 6 words. Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. And that's the extent of it. It's this binary thing. We think either we're good or we're not good. I like to talk about emotional fitness because for guys, when we talk about fitness, we understand that it's a point in time that, at any given time, I may be super fit. And if I stop doing the things I need to do to get fit, that fitness goes downhill. And it's a point in time. So I tend to talk about emotional fitness. I told you we're going to share some stories tonight. You're going to hear a lot of stories from a lot of different individuals that have had a lot of different experiences. I am going to I'm checking messages all over the place to make sure we've got things moving the way they need to be moving. I want to share with you just briefly my story, why I'm here. You heard a little bit about Alexander's story, why he's here, why this subject is important to him. And I got to tell you, everywhere I turn, this conversation comes up, and it is so important. For those of you that know my story, back in 2015, my girlfriend was murdered by an ex-boyfriend who subsequently took his own life. And at that time, I had a lot of folks that wanted me to go after the justice system and talk about, how do we fix the justice system, which certainly let her down. How do we build a better restraining order? And I thought, maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe asking how do we build a better restraining order is the wrong question. And perhaps the better question to be asking is how do we prevent men from getting to that point in the first place? And for me, that's what started my journey down this path. And I've spent the last 7 years working with men. And one of the beautiful things is that we all struggle. All of our struggles are different. But the beautiful thing is we don't have to struggle alone. So our hope for you this year for Love Letter to Men is that we open up these conversations, we connect resources, that we show you that you don't have to struggle alone, that there is help. There are folks that care and folks that care deeply. I think you're going to be absolutely blown away by the level of care that you see in the individuals that show up at this conference over the next 3 days. One of the most powerful things for me when it comes to mental health is just practicing the pause. So I want to just take 30 seconds or so right now. And I want you to take a breath with me. I want you to slow down. We're going to take a pause. I'm going to throw my headphones on so I can see if I get the right sound effects. But we're just going to take a breath, 30 seconds or so. I want you to settle in, settle down, and just let go of all the crap outside of the four walls wherever you are. Just get clear, get present, and know that you are loved and you are not alone. We'll just take 2 more deep breaths together. This last breath, deepest one of the day yet. And as you exhale, coming back to right here, right now. And if you're brave, I want to invite you to drop 2 words into the chat that just describe what's coming up for you right now. What are you feeling? For me, I'm feeling optimistic. And I'm not going to lie, there's a little bit of anxiety there too. But I'm feeling optimistic. So again, if you're so inclined, drop a couple of words that describe what's coming up for you right now into the chat. And I think you'll see that you're not alone. The expo is going to be open every night, starting at 5:30. Each session is its own session. So you're going to have to exit to the lobby. Once I shut this down, you're going to exit to the lobby, and then you're going to click in to Greg Kettner's session, starting right at 6:30 here. All right, friends. I am incredibly grateful to see you here. We've got over 315 virtual registrants. I know there's at least 50 out in Stony Plain. We've got folks up in Grand Prairie. We've got folks all over the place. All right, friends, this is just the beginning. So head on back to that lobby and jump on into Greg's session, and I will see you over with Greg.